Hi, welcome to Joyce's Kitchen, where I will be teaching you how to make low-cost, healthy vegetarian meals. And today we will be preparing soybean burgers. And what we're going to do first is we're going to start out with our onions. You will need 2 large onions chopped, and we're going to saute them in a little bit of olive oil. And we just need to get our pan a little hot. And then we're going to put our onions in here and allow them to just caramelize. You just want to brown them until they're like caramelized. There you are. Then to that, we're going to add a bunch of scallions, chopped, green scallions. And we're going to just let this all brown in here together. Let's get our flame up a little higher. And kind of like stir it around like this, so it can all like brown together. And then our next ingredient that we're going to add is soybeans. Now these are 3 cups of soybeans ground. And you can use either a food processor or a hand crank food processor. And we're going to just mix it all together in here like this. Okay. And to that, we are going to add, just to tell you a little bit about the soybean, how magnificent of a food it is. It's high in protein, high in fiber, and calcium and iron, and low in no cholesterol is what I'm trying to say. Then we're going to add 3 cups of brown rice, which is actually a whole grain, which is very healthy for you, and the fact that it has high fiber. And set this over there. Then to this mix, we're going to add 3 cups of ground sunflower seeds. Now I prefer to use the unsalted sunflower seeds, but if you choose, you can buy the salted type. That would be just fine. And we're going to add this all in together, and then we're going to mix it. We're going to stir it all up together. Now this mix is very good in that you can make quite a bit of burgers for a very inexpensive price. And it's all very healthy and very good for you, that it's high fiber. All the ingredients here are high fiber. The sunflower seeds, the brown rice, the soybeans, all complement each other to make a complete protein. It makes it just very tasty, and it's really very good. And what we're going to do is leave this for a moment, and we're going to go over and check on our onions to make sure that they are coming along quite nicely. Okay, I think we got that kind of stirred up pretty good. And let's see what's happening over here. We're getting there. I like that nice pretty green color that the scallions brings to the meal, along with the complementary flavor. It's like two different types of onions that you have cooking here. Then we are going to add, let's go back to the mix again. What we're going to do now is we're going to add some spices. We're going to add like a half a cup of soy sauce, just to give it that extra, has like an extra flavor to it that just complements all the grains that are in here. And we're going to stir that all around and kind of mix it a little browner also, so that when you get your burgers and they're cooking, they're nice and they're a nice brown color to them. There we are. We're coming along. Oops. And to this mix, we're going to add some garlic powder. Everyone has like a different taste level. Now, I personally love garlic, so you may not want as much garlic as I would put in, but I would say either a whole garlic clove chopped up would be, or you want to use garlic press, would work just fine. Or you could use just some garlic powder like I'm using today. Roughly, I put in a tablespoon of garlic powder. And the next thing we are going to add is some salt. And again, that kind of depends upon your own discretion, your own choice. And by the way, if you can't or don't want to use regular table salt, you can always use like a Vegex or a Spike. That's like a herbal seasoning that's lower in sodium and everything. Now, we're getting it. Now, we're going to add some oregano. I have like about a quarter cup of oregano. And I'm going to mix that in. And let's see. And by the way, soy sauce, if you find that you don't want to put that much in, you don't have to. You just want to like play along with the ingredients of the seasonings. Also, we're going to add a half a cup of whole wheat flour to our mix. Now, we're going to stir this in very good. Meanwhile, before we go any further, we should really take a look at our onions. see how they're coming along. Yes, they're getting there. They're softer. We're going to let them go a little bit longer. And just get that brown texture to them. Okay. And again, we're going to go back to our mix and we're going to finish stirring it. And we're going to add some black pepper. Kind of forgot. And I'm going to stir that in till it all culminates together, till everything is just like the flour is mixed in, incorporated. And let's see. Then we want to add some beaten eggs, 3 to be exact. You want to beat your eggs up. By the way, I am going to just beat mine just a little bit more. Okay, and we're going to add these eggs to the mix. Okay, and then we're going to stir it all around. Like this, to make it all just come together. And by the way, you can actually double or triple this recipe for making a ton of burgers. I wouldn't say a ton, but you can make quite a few more, quite inexpensively. And see, stir this all over like this. Alrighty, again, I hear something crackling over in that pot about the onions. I think I need to get back over there and see, it's nice and moist now, the mixture. And that's how you want it to be, so that your burgers come out, they're not dry and they just have a nice, moist, and yummy flavor to them. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, now we're back at our onions, aren't we? I'm going to let them go just a little bit longer. Okay, stirring them around. Alrighty, give them just a little bit longer. Then we have some cheese here that we're going to add to our, oops, excuse me. To be exact, this is sharp cheese. Now I am using a white sharp cheese and a yellow extra sharp, and that's to give it that snappy flavor. It's going to have like a wonderful taste that's going to be left to your burger. And we're going to add that into our bowl with the rest of the mix. And we're going to stir it all together. And it just looks extra tasty to me. So, now with these burgers, The good thing about them are you can pack them for lunch. Just add some like green lettuce leaves or spinach leaves on your whole grain bread. Pack with some tomatoes and sliced onions, and you want to put like some sprouts, like alfalfa sprouts, on your sandwich, and use a low-fat dressing on your bread. And that makes for a very nutritious and inexpensive lunch. If you're sending it off to school with the children, or if you're taking a sandwich to work, that's just some food for thought for you as to how you can make these burgers go a very long way. You can use them in different ways. Now, we're going to add our, turn that down, onions to the mix. Yes. Here we are. Add them into the pan. And they're nice, and they're not real brown, but they're just right. And add this to our soybean burger mix. Alrighty. Next, what we're going to do is start stirring this up. Like this. I want to get it all mixed in together. Like that. Alrighty, I think we have it now. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to use some oil, olive oil, in our frying pans. We're going to use 2 pans, by the way. Just a little oil. We don't want to make our burgers float in the grease, so to speak. And we're going to heat up our pans. Alright. And we're going to sprinkle some sesame seeds. You don't need a specific amount here. You need to just use enough to coat the bottom of your frying pan. That would be sufficient. And you want to go all around the circumference, the bottom of your pan. Like that. And while that one's toasting, then we're going to coat this dish here. See? So it looks like that with your sesame seeds coating the bottom of your pan, browning just slightly to get a nutty flavor to them in the bottom of your frying pan. And they have a very toasted, nutty flavor to them. And seeds are actually very high in nutrition. Okay, same thing. And this is going to also keep the burgers from sticking to the bottom of your pan as well. Now, we will let those toast for just a moment. And, alrighty, everything is pretty much added. So now what I'm going to do is bring a pan over, and we're going to patty up our burgers. Just nice sized burgers like this. They don't have to be quite that large, but then you want to flatten them out to just a nice like a nice size burger like that. Not too big, not too small, just nice. Right. And I love the pretty color the green onions adds to the burgers. If you make a nice large batch of this, you can have enough for your dinners and some to add in your lunch. And just, as I said, just get creative with it. Alrighty. We're just going to add one more in here because I don't want to pack it too much for the mere reason that we're going to have to go in there and flip those burgers, and we want to have room to do that. Now, okay, before we do that, I think I should add a little bit more oil here. And I'm just going to put it in around the sides. I think I see what happened here. Alright. Now we want to let our seeds come back together. And we're going to make another pan of burgers. And, or I almost forgot to tell you, you can put your favorite condiments on your burgers. You can just get, you know, creative with it. Try different toppings and see what your taste buds react to. Here you are. I think this one is a little bit big for its size. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I think we're going to put one more burger in. And then we're going to watch them brown. We're going to let them get nice and toasty and brown on both sides. And I think I can add a little bit more to that one. Let's see what's happening over here. If you ever have to add more oil, you just kind of go in from the side and add it so you don't disturb your sesame seeds. Okay, Now I'm going to turn this up a little and this up a little, and that's what we're going to do. And from this mix right here, as you can see, you've got, that's about 8 burgers there. You've got probably another 16 burgers out of this mix right here. So it makes quite a bit of mix. So if you have a large family, or if you want to have meals that are going to last and that you can use like as leftovers or in lunches, it's really an ideal nutritious burger that you can make for your family. Alrighty, let's see what these burgers here are doing. I think I am going to need to, no wonder they need to be over here. I need to add a little more oil, and it's best to go in from the sides and put your oil in that way. Yes, we're going to need a little more oil. Now these right here, they're coming along, but you want to let them just really cook so it gets nice and brown, like on the inside and everything. And that's the best way of doing that. And we're just going to let those brown. And meanwhile, while they are browning, we are going to patty up some more burgers. And to do that, I am going to just crowd this plate, and this will save time. And we're going to just make some nice patties like this to do the same thing. And let's see how far these are going to go. 1. Here we are. Another one. Like I said, you don't want to get them too big, because you've got to flip them in the pan. And 2. And we don't want them too small either. Not really. 3. Okay, we're getting there. 4. Okay. 5. Okay, I think I am going to need myself another plate to put these on. I think we can put one more on here. 6. I am going to have to get myself another plate. That's what I'm going to have to do. Now, before we do that, we need to check on our burgers here and see how they're coming along. Let's see. Okay. Whole thing is, though, we don't want them to cook too quickly, because we want them to get nice and done, like on the inside. They're just to cook just along slowly, not too slow. It's kind of like medium, like that. And same thing here. And that way everything just gets to culminate. Everything gets to culminate just right. And alrighty, now let's see how these burgers are coming along now. Okay, I'm flipping them, see how nice that is? And okay, that's side one. We're getting nice and brown. And let's see what these babies are doing. I think they need just a little bit longer on side one. A little bit longer. I'm going to move this plate over here. Alrighty, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're almost finished. Now, this is 7. And number 8. So you see it makes quite a bit of mix. And actually this mix right here that I put together cost me under $7 to put together, $7. So you get quite a bit out of it. Alrighty, and I'm going to go back over and I'm going to check on the burgers again. Alrighty, let's see, where are we here? Now, we're going to check on this pan. This pan hasn't been turned yet. Okay, now it's pan number 2. Now, these actually should be just about ready to come out. We'll give them a couple more seconds to go and then we can take them out. But the sesame seeds have very wonderful flavor to them. Very wonderful nutty flavor. Okay, now that's 6 there. That's 10. That's 11. I can suggest to you something I do. I go to your local farmer's market, or what would you call it? It's like a country foods market, to get most of my ingredients in bulk, and it's less expensive that way for me. Alrighty, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that's 13 burgers plus 8, that's 21 burgers. And I believe we're going to take these burgers out because we don't want them to get too toasty.